TV viewer response line. Email us or connect with us on social media.
October 5th, 2014, my daughter was hit by a train. She was walking along the sides of the tracks, and it shattered her world.
Now you can enjoy the Amazon Prime Video app on Ignite TV. Just say Amazon Prime Video into your Ignite voice remote and watch Amazon originals like The Expanse.
They wanted a fight. We'll give them one.
The Wilds.
Are we in the actual Bermuda Triangle?
And The Boys.
That is amazing.
Prime members can stream Amazon originals, movies, TV shows, and more on Ignite TV today. Now you're in command.
Hello and welcome to the Rogers TV COVID-19 show. I'm Carol Merton, and before I welcome our guest to the program today, I wanted to share some thoughts with you about COVID-19. We are hopeful that we will be able to move forward to having restrictions lifted after the next few weeks. Meanwhile, the Public Health Unit reminds us that physical activity is important for everyone's well-being. As the weather improves, children are naturally drawn to outdoor activities, and adults too. And this can include parks and playground equipment. These are wonderful ways to keep active, and the safety of the children from potential hazards, not only from COVID-19, but also from the sun, mosquitoes, and ticks, is important. While outdoor recreation is strongly encouraged, the Public Health Unit reminds all of us to continue to wear a mask properly, use a sun hat and sunscreen, and apply an appropriate bug repellent to help keep all of the family safe while outside. There is good news regarding the gradual decline in the number of new cases of COVID-19 in Grey Bruce. The Public Health Unit could not have done this without the help of the community, and they need us to keep up the good work. We can all agree that we want this particular lockdown to be the very last one that we will have to go through, and no more extensions. We are all looking forward to the lifting of the restrictions, but in the meantime, please stay the course by following the 3 W's and the 2 A's recommended by the Grey Bruce Health Unit. Wash your hands, wear a mask, watch your distance, avoid travel unless absolutely necessary, and avoid gatherings. This journey has been long, and we are all very weary. The sacrifices we continue to make each and every day will bring us all closer to the finish line. Let's make this difference together. Thank you to our community. And on that note, I also want to say thank you and welcome to our guest today. Amy Solecki is the Community Outreach Coordinator for the Meaford Library, and she's going to join us today to tell about all the happenings that are going on at the Meaford Library. Thank you for sending the information along. I also went online to look up the Meaford Library. My goodness, it's a busy place. Welcome, welcome.
Thank you very much for having me. Yes, Meaford Public Library is probably one of the busiest little libraries in Grey County. So we love the fact that even through all this change throughout the past year, we're able to, of course, still continue going and welcoming people when we can inside, as well as hosting all the programs, most of them virtual right now. But we're thrilled to be able to even offer curbside pickup still. People can place holds online or give us a call and come collect their material at our front door on Trowbridge Street. And of course, if someone still needs to use a computer, we actually do let people into the library for 30 minutes to have computer access. So if an individual needs to print a document or submit something online, they can still come in and do it.
Excellent, excellent. So just like so many businesses and so many organizations and so many public services, you've had to do a lot of pivoting and a lot of changing. So fill me in a little bit about what you're offering and what you're looking forward to as we move through spring into summer.
So currently we're offering many of our programs still virtually. We still have our Brown Bag Book Club that's offered virtually. And then we have some special guest speakers coming up in this short little while. We have Sandra Hong coming from the Alzheimer's Society Grey Bruce. She'll be speaking about dementia prevention on the 31st of May. On the 27th of May, we have Dr. Debbie Boyd coming, joining us virtually again to speak about her collection of stories in her book, Paw Prints on the Heart. So, of course, you know, this one pulls at your heartstrings with your pets. I know a lot of people have had their pets, really relied on their pets, I should say, throughout this past year and a bit. And then we have CELA, the Center for Equitable Library Access. They'll be coming to speak on the accessible resources that are offered through Canadian libraries. So if you know of anyone who has vision impairment or tactile, they will actually still be able to give you services that you'll be able to access your material, so your books. So of course that is really important to us as we have this brand new fully accessible library building. We want to make sure there are no boundaries, as well as our amazing reads. If you're not someone who is wanting to be online, of course, we have what's called the Amazing Reads Canada. And it's a little passport you can pick up at the Meaford Public Library. And it gives you 15 books, and you have to read 13 of them. And if you succeed in reading throughout the entire summer, so it goes until Labor Day, if you succeed in reading all 13 books, you have an opportunity to win a prize. And of course, you're talking about being active, of course, just before this program began. We're working with the recreation department at the municipality, and we're offering Walk the Length of the Pacific Crest Trail. So this is, again, something you don't have to do online, and it gets you active. It's each week you submit your steps to me and let me know how far you've gone in a week, and we tally up everyone's steps, and together as a community we try to walk the length of the PCT. And that's only just some of the things that we have for adults. Each week, of course, we have story time for the kids every Wednesday at 10:30. You can find it on our YouTube channel as well as our Facebook page. So we have a half-hour story time offer that children or even adults can watch, of course. And then that afternoon, we always have a grab and go coming. So a craft that people can come to the curbside pickup and take away with them and put together at home. And each month, the junior library team, of course, puts together a week-long event. And this month, I shouldn't say this month, it's coming up, the second week of June, from the 2nd to the 13th, I believe, we will be celebrating Pride Week. So I know that's a very important time in a lot of people's lives, celebrating all types of love and diversity. So the entire Meaford Public Library will be celebrating Pride Week. So we have an activity for kids to take home every day of that week. We also have Joan Beecroft from PFLAG. She'll be coming to speak about, or virtually, she'll be speaking with us about her collections of stories of 2020, Gay and Grey Bruce Gray, sorry. So we have lots and lots of things happening at the Meaford Public Library. Like I said, many things that are virtual, but there are some things that you can still take away with you. So if you're not wanting to do anything online, because let's face it, a lot of us are all zoomed out. So we try to do a few things for people that they can do in real time, let's say. We also have a wide collection of different library materials. Of course, books, movies, magazines, but we also have what we lovingly call the library of things. So this includes our seed library. So if you're looking to plant seeds for your garden, vegetable or flower, we actually have a selection of seeds that people can take. And then when their produce has been harvested, collect some of the seeds, dry them, keep some for yourself, but bring some back to us. We also have play kits, which include themes such as hop, skip, jump, and their activity. And again, thinking about those kids wanting to get out and be active, especially with this beautiful weather that we've been having, gets them outside and moving and being active. We also have pickleball rackets coming that people can borrow, that they'll be able to use once the restrictions are lifted, as well as fishing rods at our library.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Yes. So
how do you come up with all these ideas? You have a staff there. How many actually are not physically there, obviously. But...
there's about 8 of us working at the Meaford Public Library, and it truly is a team effort. So ideas come to us from our community, which we are absolutely grateful for. We would love, this is why we're here. We're here to serve our community and beyond. So if there's an idea someone has, we try to always run with it. So the pickleball, this was an offer to us by the Pickleball Association, the local Pickleball Association in Meaford, and we just love the fact that we'd be able to provide this service. So we were able to, that was another community effort, working with the other municipal departments, such as recreation. They helped us out with the play kits, as well as just, seeing what other libraries are doing, and let's see if we can implement it. There are many other libraries who offer fishing rods, but we're I think one of the few in the area who provide this.
So do you also provide the tackle that goes along with it? I'm not talking fresh worms. We're not talking fresh worms here.
Absolutely not. Definitely not fresh worms, but we do have some of the lures and bobbers to go along with the rods.
And that fascinates me. I think that is just a tremendous thing for adults and children, or mainly children?
Both. It's open to absolutely everyone.
Excellent. Where does the funding come for these additional initiatives where you're loaning things out?
Actually, it depends on the item, to be perfectly honest. So the tackle program, the fishing rod, actually comes from Tackle Share, and they provide the rods and tackle absolutely free. Encouraging people to get out and enjoy, of course, our beautiful lakes and rivers that we have in our community. We have donations being given to us, such as the pickleball rackets, and then partnering with the municipality for some of the items, such as our snowshoes, or social clubs, I should say, with the snowshoes. That was a combined effort between the Meaford Rec as well as the Rotary Club of Meaford. And then writing grants, of course, and then allotting things into our budget when we see that there is a need for something. We will put our own budget into it. But we have had some great support from our local service clubs, of course. The Rotary Club of Meaford, I will highlight them because they gave us a great sponsorship for a lot of our new technology in the library. We have laptops as well as Adobe Creative Cloud, which we actually have a giveaway for teens. Once we can actually open the doors, they can come in and use our Creative Cloud and make a little video and have an opportunity to win one of the prizes there. So the sponsorships from different areas have been tremendous, and we are ever so grateful for all the support that we have.
Yeah, it sounds like it's the community supporting the community and helping the library serve the community. It's amazing how that is. So I'm just going to go through some of the things that I noticed, and you may have already mentioned them, but if you decide that you want to go into more detail. So you do have a summer reading club, a TD summer reading club. Can you speak a little bit about that?
So the TD Summer Reading Club is an annual summer reading program that we have for our junior members. We, of course, encourage them to read throughout the summer to keep that skill up. Opportunities, again, to win prizes. We have a TD Summer launch coming up in June, which we're going to do a virtual scavenger hunt, which will be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to it. As well as the Sleepy Story Time, which will kind of be a feature in that as well. So, of course, sleep involving your stuffed animals, your beloved stuffed animals, in the story time. So the TD Summer Reading is a great program. You win prizes. You have passports as well to encourage you to track how many books you are reading throughout the summer. And it's a great, fun event. Our junior library team is always having so much fun with it.
Excellent. So that's the TD Summer Reading Club. You've talked about walking the length of the Pacific Crest Trail, but you actually loan out the pedometers for people.
We do.
Yeah.
We have a few pedometers at the Meaford Public Library. So if you do not have a Fitbit or any sort of step counter, or if you don't have a cell phone that can track your steps, or if you just want to play with a pedometer because they're a lot of fun, you can certainly borrow a pedometer from the Meaford Public Library and track your steps.
Yeah. And so the goal is to try to walk 4,270 kilometers. But if a person doesn't make it, it doesn't matter. They're out walking, right?
Exactly. And it's a team effort. So you don't have to personally walk that distance. It's if you were doing it and I was doing it, we add it all up and hopefully we make it there. Last year, we successfully made it across Canada. That was a challenge. We made it by the skin of our teeth. But it was a lot of fun. And again, it just kind of gets you in mind, let's get out and go for a stroll. This is a challenge that we've taken on.
So even a family can take on the challenge and just take turns going, because of course can't have everyone walking necessarily in large groups, but certainly can take on the challenge for sure, which is great. I see people now I've never seen walk when I'm walking my dog that I've never seen walk before, and I think people are getting out and are desperate for something to do.
And we live in a beautiful, beautiful area. We have gorgeous trails. We have, lovely little streets. We have beachfront or waterfront. It's a great time to go out and explore our area.
So I'm also looking at pollinator-friendly gardening.
Yes. Oh my goodness, I forgot. How could I forget our pollinator-friendly gardening with our Grey County Master Gardeners? In June, we'll be celebrating Pollinator Week along with our longest day of play, so encouraging people to get outside. But of course, pollinators need love and support. So the Master Gardeners have graciously offered to give a presentation on how to make your garden more pollinator friendly. So this includes butterflies and bees, but of course any sort of pollinator friendly garden. They are going to make sure that you know what to plant, and of course trying to keep it very natural and local plants.
Excellent. Now that's a Zoom on June 22nd, right?
Correct.
So people who are watching who may not be members of the library, first of all, how do they get to be members of the library to be able to participate in these programs?
We're thrilled to say anyone can be a member of the Meaford Public Library. You don't have to be a resident. All you need is a piece of ID or your address on it, a piece of ID with your address on it. So it could be government, driver's license, piece of mail. But we welcome anyone to be a member of the Meaford Public Library. But you don't have to be a member, of course, to participate in the programs. But, membership has its benefits. So So yes, all you have to do is give us a call at the Meaford Public Library at 519-538-3500, or send an email to libraryinfo@meaford.ca, and just let us know what you're looking to register for. And we, of course, will need your name. And for many of these events, of course, because they are online, we will need your email address. So if you want to provide a phone number and email address, that's all we need to set you up.
Yeah, and I think it's great that, you know, people can participate. And so for people who don't have a card, they can call the library, can they, and just say, I'm interested in a card. How do they show you their ID then?
So if they're interested in a card, they would have to come to the Meaford Public Library. We can get started with some of the information, but they would have to come to the library to grab the card. Now we can get them set up with a temporary card online, just by sending an email. So you can visit our website, www.meafordlibrary.on.ca, or just, you know, search Meaford Public Library in Google, and you'll be there. And you can actually request a temporary card, which will give you access to all of our online services. It's just you wouldn't be able to borrow physical material. So to do that, you would have to come to the library and present a piece of ID.
So, recognizing we're still restricted with COVID, you mentioned curbside pickup, so people can order. How would that work? And then when the books come back, do they have to be quarantined for a bit?
Yes, so curbside is very easy. It's just like online shopping. You would go on to our library catalog, onto our website. So you just log in with your library account. So it's the 14 digits on the back of your library card, and your password is typically the last 4 digits of your phone number. So it's very easy to go on, and then you just browse away as if you're on Amazon or your favorite store. And, you know, the library should be your favorite store because everything's free.
Good point.
Yeah. So you can just browse, and you select the title and place it on hold. Now, if it's available immediately, we typically would have it ready for you within an hour to be picked up. Now, if it's currently out, the material, then it will take a little while. We always send an email to let you know it's ready to be picked up. Or if you don't have email associated, we will give you a phone call and let you know that it's ready.
Excellent.
And then you'll just come to our foyer. We actually have a table with a doorbell. So you ring the doorbell, we know to come out and see you, and we'll take your card, collect your books, and send you on your way. Now, when books are returned, they're always returned in our drop box. We have a drop box right there beside the table. We also have a drop box at the back of the library in the parking lot area. There's the drop box there. So we do check in books immediately, but then we do set them aside and let them quarantine for 24 hours.
Excellent. Yeah. So there's a couple of other programs that I'm reading about here. 1,000 books before kindergarten.
Yeah.
And then the other was forest therapy.
Oh, the forest therapy.
Yeah.
Well,
that may have happened already.
Yes, but it was wonderful. So I'm just going to touch on the forest therapy. We had, again, it was a Zoom presentation, and our forest therapy guide is a certified therapy guide. And she actually gave us an introduction to how you can really connect with nature. So, of course, we couldn't go on a walk, but she encouraged us to sit near nature, be at a window, have a plant beside us, and just visualize, you know, being outside, have that fresh air come in, and, you know, just really calm the mind. And, you know, what are you thinking? How are you feeling? What kind of expression, what kind of expression is coming to mind when, you know, you put yourself into this mindset, and how we can really connect with nature better. And again, a lot of people, as we were saying, are going outside and walking. You know, it's a nice way to maybe relieve stress, or just relax after a busy day, or maybe a stressful time with the pandemic. Now, the 1,000 books before kindergarten is, again, just a great way to encourage that love of reading in your little ones. Just to kind of switch gears here. So it's offered that, to encourage your child to read 1,000 different books. I would say, even if you want to read the same book multiple times, if there's a favorite, why not? Before they reach kindergarten. So just going out and searching and looking. And we do have a list of options if you're looking for recommendations, of course. But it's just that kind of encouragement to always go back to and think about, okay, every day, read 5 books, 6 books, so many books, as long as you're reading every day with your little one to encourage that love of reading and getting the sounds and the phrases out.
I like what you said about if you have a favorite book, you can read it over and over, and it counts towards the 1,000, because it's not unusual for little ones to have their favorites and eventually memorize the words.
Exactly. So long as they're reading, it's fantastic.
Yeah. So we have a few more minutes in the program. Do you anticipate, as the restrictions lift, that the library will continue with a mixed model of online and in-person services? What sorts of things do you see in the future for the library system?
Currently, what we're planning on, of course, we're trying to plan the best we can, and having, contingency plans, of course, in the back burner. But what we're seeing right now is hopefully once the restrictions have lifted, we're able to welcome people back into the library for browsing, reading the newspaper, using the computers for a longer length of time if need be, bringing in their own devices and having access to our Wi-Fi. So allowing people to come back in and enjoy our space again. We have lots of nice little meeting rooms as well that were being utilized by some of our students doing home learning, or if they were, back from university or college, they were using it quite a bit before the emergency shutdown happened. So being able to welcome people back into our space is something we're really looking forward to. Online, or as for programming, we can foresee for the next little bit maybe keeping it online. We need to, of course, see what the restrictions are going to be, because it will depend on how many people can gather in a particular group. We want to make sure that everyone is as safe as possible. So, of course, wearing masks, of course, within the library if you're able to, as maintaining the 6 feet distance as well, and having hand sanitizer. But we are hopeful that maybe in the summer we can start opening up programs. We have a beautiful new parkette outside the new Meaford Public Library that we can definitely foresee using, maybe if we can host programs with a few more people outside. If it's a gorgeous day, we will bring it outside. A lot of people are looking forward to story time out there.
Yeah.
So we're hopefully, if we can't even bring it indoors, we could potentially have a program outside. But, if we do need to bring it inside, we will. Inside, we would have to limit the numbers. Yeah. Now, hopeful, fingers crossed, come fall, we will be able to welcome more people back into the library, more people being able to browse, as well as more programs being held in-house. So that's what we are looking forward to. So, of course, we are always mindful of the restrictions and policies and following our local health guidelines before any decisions are made.
Sounds like you're looking forward with great anticipation. I can't believe our time is over. I was absolutely delighted that you were on the program, because I wanted to learn more about what you had to offer as well. I want to thank you. My understanding is you're even doing this on your vacation. So we really, really appreciate your time. Thank you. Did I do a bad thing?
All good, all good.
We'll see if the producer can edit that.
Sounds good.
Thank you so very much for joining us today. Thank you to our viewing audience as well. We appreciate you joining us to learn more about programs and services here available to you and to your family. Please take care, stay safe, and care for each other. Thank you.